Welcome to That's What We Think with Connie and Steve. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Caught off guard there for a second
You didn't think I
because
was starting that quickly, did
I
you?
did not. I was had my face away from the screen, so I didn't get to see the countdown. But I'm here. Hello, hello.
Hello. I'd like to surprise you every so
Oh my
often.
god!
Can't be the same old every time.
I just keep thinking sometimes if this is reality, we'd be fired because I would be. I'm
Yes,
not paying
but guess
attention.
what? We're the boss here.
That's right.
So no one's firing us.
I'm just waiting for you to snap your fingers.
I can't snap anymore.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Oh god. Now we're really getting old. Okay. Anybody. Hello, everyone. We're here. We're here to talk to you today about, well, this topic is a little bit more serious. Um, Connie and I had a chance to watch the Louis Theroux documentary called Manosphere,
Or
and I.
inside the manosphere.
That's right. It has really made quite an impact. I've been seeing it all over social media. It's really made an impact, and I'm
Yeah.
glad.
Yes.
Um,
It's on Netflix.
that's right.
It is both disturbing
Yeah.
and fascinating
And
and disturbing at the same
I
time. It's crazy.
it is I had written a whole bunch of words. This is sad, infuriating, dangerous, pathetic. And especially as a man, I'm embarrassed to watch this.
Yeah.
And now, for people that haven't seen it, I suggest that you don't listen to us until after you've had a chance to watch the documentary, because Connie and I are getting into this, and we will be revealing things about the documentary, about the people in it, and just our feelings in general. And we do not want to sway you before you've had a chance to actually see it yourself. So please go and watch it, and then come back and have a listen, see what you think. If you agree with us, this is what podcast is about. Whether you agree or don't, we want to hear
Yeah.
it.
And
But
I also think that especially if you have sons, watch this documentary. It might give you some insight as to what it is that they're listening to,
yeah,
what podcasts that they're listening to, what's out there that they could be introduced to. I think the most disturbing part that I saw on it were the young boys that
oh,
would go up to these male influencers who are peddling a manosphere, red pill society diet, like
it,
it,
it's
these young boys that are going, "You guys are my heroes," wanting to take pictures with them.
it's there's so much to digest. And I was watching it with Jim. We were both silent watching it, taking it in, and it's revolting.
Mhm.
And kudos to Louis Theroux for having the stomach to sit,
Oh,
and bravo to him to just letting them talk,
yes.
which was their downfall at the end of the day.
Yes. Oh, yeah,
Because
because he didn't direct them
nope,
in any way. He
nope,
just stood back and was listening and would kind of question them,
yep.
with some of the things that they were saying. They were the ones, even though there was the one guy that's so paranoid saying
Was it
that,
the younger one, Tiki Taki guy? That one?
yes.
Yeah, he will talk
Yeah.
about him specifically.
He was
He's
so
melting down.
paranoid. Pardon?
He's still melting down about that. There are so many layers, and it's one of those things where I do want to see it again for things that I've missed. However, I don't want to see it again because I just can't bear to listen to these dumb asses speak again. I just can't.
No.
And you are absolutely right. Mothers and fathers with your boys, especially between the ages of 10 and 14, really
Mhm.
the impressionable years, you have to find out if what your kids are seeing online. You really, really do, because
Did you
these guys are
find
dangerous.
did you find that it was a lot of UK kids? I don't know if it was because it was Louis Theroux, um, who was the documentarian for it, but there was a lot of UK
No,
boys
I
that were
found,
listening to it.
no, I found it was absolutely North American, some European, and UK for sure. What you don't see is if it's reaching other parts of the world, i.e.,
Mm,
African continent, India, China, Japan. Why would
right.
they? Why? I don't know if why would they listen to these
I'm
people,
sure, though.
but maybe they might be. Or
Yeah.
What could we start with this, Connie? Because
Where to start? Well, I mean, the whole question,
yeah.
the premise of the documentary and his question to them is, what is it that makes a man? And the way they decide on what makes a man, they lean into the patriarchy with both feet. And what I found was that they almost get it right, because they are talking about how they're feeling like their lives are disposable, that they're living in a world that is preventing them from succeeding. And then they blame women.
Women.
Women, the ones who are even further back than they are, they find a way of blaming women for their lack of success and their lack of being able to
It's
go forward.
I think that part, the sheer, dare I say, hatred? I don't even know if it's that.
Yeah,
I
it
just
is a
fear, it's this visceral dislike, and yet, "You dumb fucks, you guys are from come from," like, you just
yeah. Well, you
but
know what?
anyways,
And he
I will
does
just say
touch
this.
upon that.
Yeah,
He
exactly. I again, kudos to, Louis Theroux for having the balls to just stand there and deal with this bullshit. Every time I think about this documentary, I just keep thinking, "These men are so deeply sick, they need help, and they should have gotten psychological help a long time ago to deal with their anger issues." I think they're stuck in adolescence, and whatever happened has just completely shaped their narrative and their entire world on what they believe makes a man.
I think what it is, actually, to be honest,
Yeah?
is I think that they found
A scapegoat?
no, well, I do think that they have a hatred for women,
Yeah,
and a total disrespect for women.
you're right.
However, I think what they found is a way of profiteering off of other men who feel neutered, and that's all they're doing. I don't even know if they completely 100%
Believe it?
buy into
Mm.
what they are peddling. I think that they've found a way to make money, almost like a, pyramid scheme where
Yeah,
they're at the top and they get everyone else to buy into this theory that they have, that, they are the victim and they need to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and gain their masculinity back that's been taken from them from the feminists of the world, and that they need to completely disrespect women in the entire time, or that women are just objects there for them to use. Um, and I think that's what it is. I don't even know if they 100% buy into it.
I think you're right about the profiteering part because, as we saw, they actually have courses or
Yeah,
levels that you buy into in order to
yeah.
get access to the rantings of these lunatics. And
And it doesn't
abs-
matter if you make money off of their courses, they're
yeah.
making money off the course.
Well, just you saw the part where he invested in
Yes, in the
the fight.
Tiki-Taki's
That's right,
investment
and lost
strategies.
it and
Yeah,
lost
and
his money.
because Tiki-Taki guy is making money whether you make money or not.
Exactly, and I don't think that that's made clear. And they really do go after, I hate to say this, the lowest denominator at this point, because a lot of these young minds are not developed enough to understand exactly what it is
Yeah,
that they're getting into. Or,
yeah, because, well,
God
they're
help
showing
us,
them.
or God help us, they do understand exactly what they're getting self into and actively search this out, which
Yeah,
is another side of this pendulum, Connie, that I don't feel like getting into simply because it scares me, that
mm,
there are people that are willingly wanting to hear all of this stuff because they know exactly what it's about.
yeah.
And that's an entirely separate section and actually very, very dangerous and terrifying. I'd rather think about the people that are like that. There's one guy in there, the young man that lost his brother to suicide, and
Oh, yes.
oh God, he broke my heart simply because he was struggling. You could see he was struggling. He was not in a good
He
place,
was homeless at
and
one point in time.
completely and lost. And that's the fear right now. And one of the things that I think, I said the word pendulum. is that society is on a pendulum, which swings back and forth. It goes one way, so there's going to be a reaction to that. It'll swing the other way, and there's going to be a reaction to that. I think right now, when it comes to young men, and I do believe that this has been heading this way for a while now, that young boys are increasingly becoming isolated, and social media is not helping.
Yeah.
If you've seen the show Adolescence, I highly recommend it, especially for parents. You really, really, really need to watch
Well,
that.
and this is where that whole movie stems from,
This
this
stuff.
right here. Yeah.
Look, Connie, you are the mother of a young man. Jack is fabulous. He's a great kid.
Oh,
And I think at the end of the day, it's parenting matters. And I don't care if I get into trouble for this, but you really, for parents out there that are not paying attention, you must pay
yeah.
attention to this stuff. I think that you and David have done a fabulous job with
Mhm.
Jack. How old is he now?
26.
Right. They're also starting to target people of that age too.
Oh, of course. It's young men that age that are the ones that are probably targeted the most, right? The young kids, and they've said it, the young kids should not be watching or listening to their stuff.
Hmm.
Not that they're stopping them in any way, and they love profiting off the young kids, but their target is the 20 some odd year old young man that feels disenfranchised because he's not getting the job that he wanted. He's
Mm.
not getting the outcome that he thought he was going to have by at this point in time, whether it's a girlfriend or sex or anything. They feel they're,
They're owed something.
yeah,
And okay, so this is where I have to
nobody
ask you.
owes you anything.
Agreed. So this is where I'm asking you now as a mom watching this documentary, and what was going through your head? I'm not a parent, so I can only view this as a man. I can only see it from that perspective because
Mhm.
I don't have children. But as a mother of a boy too,
Yeah.
what's your visceral reaction as you were watching this? What were you thinking?
First off, I was thinking, "Thank God my son is raised surrounded by women." Strong women too at that, like,
Hmm.
between his grandmothers and his mother and then his sisters.
Hmm.
He knows he knows how to treat a female, that women are supposed to be equal. He knows that respect is the most important thing. I raised my kids with one rule, and that was to treat people the way you wanna be treated. Doesn't
Hmm.
matter who they are. Doesn't matter their gender, doesn't matter sexuality, doesn't matter anything. You just treat people the way you wanna be treated. If you wanna be treated like crap, then treat people like crap, I
Right.
guess.
Right.
And, that's what you can expect out of life.
Hmm.
My biggest fear while I was watching it, though, because our kids do things that we don't know.
Well, God, of
Every single
course,
kid does.
of
We
course.
are not on top of them all the time. We do
No,
not know, and I mean, you could have all the parameters you want on their laptops and on their phones and everything, and you still won't know everything that they're watching or seeing. Our parents didn't know
of
everything that
course
we were
not.
watching
We
and
are just
seeing.
talking
How
about
many
that.
times did, we go to our friend's house and get to, introduced to something that maybe our parents wouldn't have wanted us to?
Oh
All
God,
the time.
all the time.
So if we think that that's not happening to our kids, and we're living under a rock,
Yeah.
because absolutely it is. Our kids, I am sure Jack has seen an Andrew Tate video or listened to, any of those people that were on this documentary. I'm sure he's heard something of it.
Right.
I don't know what his, thoughts were while he was listening to it. I know that him and his girlfriend did watch Inside the Manosphere Documentary,
Yeah.
um, and he thought it was ridiculous and that they were stupid.
To give him his due, but that's also being raised in a way that makes you secure in yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of these boys, and I'm going to say boys,
Mhm.
are not and aren't
No.
raised in an environment where security within themselves is paramount.
Yeah.
And when you're watching this, all I'm seeing is insecurity. And
Yeah.
Andrew Tate is at the top of the list when it comes to
Oh
that
my
stuff.
god. He's probably one of the
He's the most
grossest people.
disgusting
The
man.
fact that,
Ugh.
1,
Every time I
he
see
was
him.
charged with and under house arrest for sex
Trafficking?
trafficking,
Yeah,
and then brought back to the US by
and
that idiot
cleared. Yep,
down south and
south.
cleared because guess what? He's one of them,
Exactly.
and it killed me how many of them all love Trump,
I know.
and it always goes back to what my dad always said, "Tell me who your friends are, and I'll tell you who you are," and you can even turn that a little bit to, "Tell me who you admire,
Right.
and I'll show you who you are." Because if you're admiring somebody like Donald Trump or any of these people, you're not very far off that.
Like begets like, I guess, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that what they say?
exactly.
It's, and that in itself is a story, and we are now in this world where, you know, I understand when I think about social media and the things that I think about with when it comes to this platform, how I might be an old man, and I know that. I accept it, I am.
Yeah.
I get it. I never dreamed that it would ever get to a level where we're having a discussion. I was stupid, I guess, in thinking that this is gonna be some sort of worldwide thing where we actually could learn and get information that we would never, ever have a chance to get in our lifetime. It
Mhm.
started off that way. Connie, we are discussing right now the demise of a cohort of people who are deeply lost and are losing their money in order to listen to men who really have zero business having any sort of platform or any sort of
Yeah.
ability to reach anyone. And they are. Like, it's not just thousands of kids, it's millions,
Oh,
millions
yeah.
of young,
Yeah,
impressionable boys.
their listener like,
Did you
the
hear what
the
the did you hear what Louis Theroux was called? Like, he was standing with I don't know who the hell he was standing with who pronounced his last name wrong,
Mhm.
Theroux, but they were yelling "pedo, pedo," and I thought, it just these young boys who have no idea what do they know what that means? I don't know,
I
but
don't
they're
know.
screaming it because these guys say it.
Yeah.
Anybody that questions who they are as a man is a pedo. I don't hate this ticky-tacky guy because hate implies that I have any feelings because I don't.
Mhm.
What I have is disgust and sadness and just complete weariness, I think, because he, out of all of them, really needs help.
Yeah.
um,
Well, did you see how he was with his mom?
yes, I did. The ending was a masterclass with that
Mhm.
documentary and his how he is, and it might explain why he is the way he is.
Yeah.
He is an angry, angry man.
I thought he was paranoid. I didn't think he was so angry. I thought he was more paranoid.
Oh, he's angry. What kind of man beats up sets up some gay guy?
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't. I still that made me sick
Mhm.
t and justified it. "Well, it wasn't
Yeah.
supposed to go like that," and Louis like, "Yeah, it's exactly the way you thought it was gonna go."
Yeah.
Like, what kind of piece of shit and this is what scares me is that that guy is spreading that garbage to young boys, and it's already taking hold.
It was so weird that every moment of his day,
Yeah,
he's on live and recording his every single movement. It kind of was like Black Mirror-ish,
yeah.
like
Well, he
where,
got called out for it.
yeah,
Like, he's talking directly to the camera. Somebody made a comment about Google, and with this documentary, how these men can do research now to find out the people that you're going to be set up. You're going to be set up. Watch out, because you can go
yeah,
online. You can find out about Louis Theroux and his documentary habits and what he does, and which instantly puts the block on for a little bit
yeah.
until the block is knocked off and they reveal who they are. The other gentleman, I can't remember gentleman, why did I use that word? Absolutely not. That garbage person in Miami who did you know, I can't remember his name. He
I
has
don't
that
remember his name either.
I don't want to. I know
No.
we should for purposes of our
Yeah, but do
conversation,
we
we
really have to
should.
mention his name? Why give him free advertisement?
I'm
He
trying
was
to
gross.
he was
He
so
was just
gross.
so, like,
He lost his girlfriend, she left him.
I know.
Isn't that the best? She
Yeah.
watching her
Well, they were 2 from Miami,
yeah. The black
and they
the
said that Miami is a hot spot for these
Absolutely.
Manosphere people and the
Dubai,
women that
too.
follow him, and
Those women,
that probably
I felt bad
I
for
mean, they
those
don't surround themselves with educated, intelligent women. They surround themselves with women who are probably broken, um, who are calling themselves models, but meanwhile, they are OnlyFans actors, which, that's fine. You wanna do OnlyFans, that's fine. You're making lots of money if that's how you're making your money,
models.
you know? You're not a model,
You're not a model.
you're not making your money from using your brain, um,
I
but
always take umbrage with people that like them who call themselves models. It's like, you're not a model.
no.
You're not even close. I
Yeah.
don't know what you are, but model ain't it.
Yeah,
But
but
anyways, sorry.
he's not welcoming women onto his podcast that are intelligent,
Of
that
course
can
not.
debate him
Of
in
course
any
not.
real meaningful way. He's inviting people that are easily stumped. You can see that they don't agree with him. Soon as they get a certain comment or something, you can see them, like
Visibly react? Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
But they don't have the vocabulary to fight back, and he
No.
knows that. But I think what was more fascinating was the behind the scenes when Louis would take the camera to talk to the other women that do work for this man and his girlfriend, and he was freaking out because
Mhm.
he knows that this narrative is a house of cards about who he is
Yes.
as a person. It was visible
Well, he
watching
he
somebody
literally told her
deflate.
not to talk to him. At one point when he's
Yeah.
talking to
Yeah.
I guess, the recruiter or the casting director or whatever you wanna call it, that would hire
Yes.
the girls, and Louis there talking to her, and they're
Got
in
a
the middle of the
text.
show, and
Yep.
she gets a text telling her to stop, and she literally has to stop. She has to
Yeah.
obey
Obey.
him.
Absolutely. I just love the fact that it's sad that it took a mirror for her to see what was going on,
Yeah.
but at least she saw it and got out before it became.
Yeah, the girlfriend.
I don't know how
And
much worse it could have gotten because it was pretty
yeah,
bad as it was.
right.
Watching that watching that and seeing that and thinking, there are quite a lot of guys that would love that would love that scenario.
Mhm.
Ordering her, "Go make a sandwich." I
Yeah.
just go clean.
Oh,
I don't
the
even know.
ticky-tacky guy that introduced the girl as his dishwasher right in the beginning.
I don't speak for straight men in particular because 'cause I'm not,
Mhm,
but as a gay man, um, I just I can't quite wrap my head
mhm.
around this sort of behavior. Not everybody, thank God, not everybody. There are
Yes.
good men out there. There
Of course
really
there
are.
are.
This is
Even
a
there's good young men
microcosm.
out there too.
Absolutely. This is a microcosm of our society, but they're a loud part of society.
Yeah,
And because they are loud, they are able to
to
break
spread their
through
word.
absolutely successfully
Mhm.
because they've somehow managed to use language in a way that's going to reach these young men better than anything a parent could probably do. Unless you have a strong set of parents with very strong values who are able to say, you better knock this shit off and don't listen to this garbage.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, now we live in a world where we have no regulations, and everyone talks about
Yeah.
regulations about social media. I just don't know how we go about doing this because is it free speech? Is it, Connie? Is this
I
what
guess
it?
it is. I mean, that is free speech. You can say whatever it is that you want to say. They're not even saying anything that is I mean, I guess they are saying hate speech, but
Yeah.
it's, towards women. So, no, that's not really hate
And
speech
gays
anymore,
and everyone
you
else
know?
and people. Yeah, like, I mean, it's anybody that isn't them. This
Yeah,
is who they target.
yeah,
And even men they target if you're not strong, or it's the demeaning of other men too. It's not just
yeah.
women, it's also
Well,
men.
and that's how they get these young men to follow them is because
Ab
you don't wanna be that kind of man.
Absolutely. And they create this hierarchy, which has always been in existence. Like, make no
Yeah,
mistake, this isn't new. It's just we are now becoming more aware. The whole world now is becoming
mhm,
aware of men's world sometimes of how it can
yes.
be.
The
So,
interesting thing that I
yeah,
saw too
yeah,
on there was both the 2 men from Miami
yeah,
who were monogamous only on one side.
Yeah.
Their wives were partners, were monogamous, but they had an open relationship on their side
Yeah.
and could do whatever they wanted, but their woman had to stay faithful to them. And it was just interesting, and I just thought, "You must be very insecure that you have to have your partner be monogamous to you, but you can go cheat on her and
The
have
one
these other relationships." You know? And
Yeah,
then the one guy that's standing out there, the one that was very business dressed
his
and
name was
everything.
Justin, I'm not gonna say his full name.
Yeah.
He stood out, you're right.
He's one of Andrew Tate's guys.
Absolutely. He made a comment a while ago about how he says, "Oh, I love women," hence the reason why he's not monogamous. "I think I
Mhm.
love women too much." I thought to myself, "What is that? What does that mean? Like,
Yeah.
what exactly are you saying there when you say you love them too much? That's not what you're if you think that that's coming out good, it really, really isn't.
Yeah.
It's coming out in a way that's deeply disturbing. But but in their head, and I can't profess to know what's going on in their head, it's only what they're presenting. It's just, as you say, Connie, it is presenting deep insecurity, and more importantly, is watching his partner with their daughters. Um, her face, I couldn't take my eyes off of her.
Just the fact that he has daughters. I
I
wanted Louis to ask him, and this is where I think that he failed in his questions,
Yes,
is I wanted
yes.
him to ask him how he would feel about somebody doing and speaking the same way that he does about other women,
Didn't
about
he?
his daughters.
I thought he mentioned this. Didn't he say something like this too? He did. He said something like this to that tiki-taki guy. The same sort of questions about, you know, "Oh, I don't want my children growing up gay. I
Yeah,
disown them." Or like he was if confronted with which
yeah. And he didn't want his daughters to do OnlyFans, yet
OnlyFans,
he
but
was
yet
making money
he's
off of.
profiteering off of it.
He was a pimp. Literally, that's what he was doing. He was pimping girls out to OnlyFans and making money off of them doing their OnlyFans, and the whole thing of OnlyFans is that you don't have a pimp, that you are, doing okay, yes, you are a sex worker, but you're an independent sex worker on OnlyFans.
Okay.
Um but going back to that one guy
Yeah,
in
Justin.
Miami, the
Yeah,
Justin guy, he
yeah.
said he's standing out there on the, balcony of his condo in Miami and saying, "Men made this. All of these things
Yeah.
men made. Women have not made anything." And he said, "I
Are you sure?
are you sure about that?" And he goes, "It's a fact." And he said it with so much
No,
bravado and that he was sure it was a fact. And
yeah.
so I have a list in case he's listening to this podcast, which I don't know if he
I
is.
doubt it.
But you have computer programming
Yeah.
made by Ada Lovelace, or invented modern programming language, and compliers Grace Halpern. Foundations of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and GPS, Hedy Lamarr. Oh, the
She
Apollo
started all
software.
this,
Yeah,
Hedy Lamarr.
the Apollo software that allowed humans to actually land on the moon. Margaret Hamilton. Home security systems with cameras. A Black woman named Marie Van Britton Brown.
Yep,
The science of radioactivity.
yep,
Uh, and one of the most important inventions, Marie Curie.
yep.
Madame Marie
Madame
Curie.
Curie, yes.
And then he said all the buildings that were around him were constructed by men, except he was probably blind because you have, in Miami, 1,000 Museum, the Atlantis Condominium, the 10 Museum Park, all in Miami, and there's more, all drawn out and designed by women. So if he says it's a fact, his facts are very limited and his
But
knowledge is very limited,
yet he's spouting this bullshit.
and people are buying it.
Oh my god. You're going to have to spend another 20 years convincing these brainwashed men that this is not true. This
Yeah.
is not reality. This is you have at your fingertips right in front of you. Click, click, click. What did women make?
Yeah.
And yet you're going to listen to that.
Mhm.
And that says something right there,
Or
Connie.
even question
But
what they're saying.
but it brings up again the question of what's happening out there that, and again, I refer to the pendulum swinging. There is a reaction to this. There's a reason why young men are running to these things to get their information, to make them feel like something. Feel, I think is the word, emotion, to feel something, to give them something they can harness all their angst and anxiety and all the other crap that happens to young men. It does. As you're just thinking, okay, well, there's no other outlet for them. Is this is it? This is where you have to go to?
Yeah.
That breaks my heart to know that this is where they have to run to. And it should scare everybody in this world.
Mm. It makes me worry about what kind of man is going to be there for my daughters.
Ugh,
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
my younger girls, Emily has an awesome, awesome guy. Evelyn right now is dating an amazing guy as well, thankfully, but you don't know, right?
of
What are
course.
how are they gonna end up? Who are they gonna end up choosing? Hopefully, if this is the case, if this is the trajectory of young men, I hope that they stay single if that's the case.
Which is another reason why of the angst and anger,
Yeah,
because they're being
but you can't
rejected.
blame them into for wanting to be single if that's their option.
And that's scary too, because it's a circular thing now. You're going,
Yeah,
If I'm rejected, what do I do? I go to them, I'm angry, blah, blah, blah. Then I want to get a woman. They hate me, back to the anger
yeah,
again. It is a revolving door now of these terrible, terrible feelings that a lot of these young men possess at this moment. And it really garners a discussion now from, especially with parents in particular, to find out and deal with this issue. I think a lot of people don't want to, because boys are supposed to be independent. Boys are supposed to be able to handle their feelings.
mhm,
Boys are boys. Men are men. We don't talk about that stuff. We don't deal with that stuff. And those shitty, archaic behaviors still exist.
yeah,
And they're still perpetuated by, I'm shocked even from Gen Xers. We should know better.
right.
We grew up with an environment where we were supposed to learn to talk about our feelings, but it's still not like that.
No,
And that's depressing.
no,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh, I think we've moved
I'm
quite
not saying that
far
we're
ahead,
stuck,
but I
but
think there's still lots of work to be done. The one thing that did stand out with all of these people, characters, is that they
the
came from
characters.
fatherless
Yeah.
families,
Yes.
and, there was a lot of violence
Yes.
within their upbringing, so I'm
Or
sure that had
absenteeism.
something to do with it. You know,
Oh,
I'm sure the instability in the household, just the way
they were
that they were
raised.
raised.
Yeah.
I'm sure it has a lot to do with how they are and their anger and disappointment.
We need to state that this is what the documentary had pointed out. This isn't Connie and I suggesting that the reason why these men are like this is simply because of a breakdown in a relationship in a marriage. That is
Oh
absolutely
gosh, no.
not. What we're
Mm-mm.
stating is that a lot in these cases of these characters has come from homes where there was violence, or there was an absentee father, or both.
I think it was
And
both for the most
yeah,
part.
yeah. So it can't be denied that it provided a background as to why. And
Yeah,
these boys who grew up in that environment didn't have a place to go that would give them a chance to get whatever it is that's happening within their families out in the
yeah,
open. And it's internalized until it isn't. And social media, as we are attesting right now, based on what Connie and I do, gives us a platform to talk about things in a way that hopefully people will listen, they'll take it
yep,
for what it is and move on. We are not here to educate you. We are not here to uh, tell you what to do. We're just talking about what we see.
mhm.
These men, though, the difference is that they are literally telling you stuff
Oh, they're
that
trying to tell people what to believe and
uh,
how to
and
behave and what to do and everything. They're
taking your money along with
yes.
it, and turning your life into a 24-hour show. Is this narcissism?
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
'cause it's just that word, I'm telling you, the reason why I ask is because it's narcissism has just become an entirely this
I
world,
know, it's
right?
well, ever since Trump, right?
Exactly.
Everyone is a narcissist.
Everybody. But we have to recognize when it really is in our face, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking you, like, is this is
I
it,
think it
isn't
is
it,
the
Connie?
quintessential narcissistic. I think all of them are displaying narcissism at the umpteenth degree, which again is why they love Trump.
So, I have a question now then. The mom that was in it. Did you get the feeling that she was both I'll just say this. From my perspective, I think she saw what the problem is, but she was also protecting the problem.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, yes. Oh, yeah. I think I cannot believe that my son was saying that stuff.
Yeah.
But on the same token, you don't get to comment about what my son is
Yeah.
saying. He's allowed to do what he wants
Yeah.
because that's
I
my
think it's
son.
indicative of the parents that are like, "Oh, not my kid," even though they will complain about their kid within their house. But when a
Yes.
teacher points out the poor behavior in a classroom
Yeah.
and tells the parent is like, "No, that can't possibly be my kid. My kid wouldn't behave like that. You must be the problem as the teacher."
Yeah.
Even though
And
they know the issues that they're having at home.
yeah.
And because they're not dealing with those issues at home, it's bleeding into school, and then it's gonna bleed into everything else, and then when your kid ends up being this,
Yeah.
being one of those men or following one of those men,
Yeah.
now you know where that's coming from.
I wonder too if the problem is also because of denials. I can't take responsibility for that part. I will just take responsibility for the person that I know and love, and that's my son. What
Mhm.
he says outside of that world, it's not on me.
Yeah,
That's what I got from her.
yeah.
But I also like, I
But
mean,
he did say that his mom doesn't believe anything that he talks about, right?
agreed.
He said that she's anti-racist,
Abs homophobic, all
yeah,
she's not homophobic. She's all the things that you're supposed to be, and she raised her
mhm.
child like this. But at some point, where does the responsibility lie then? Obviously, Connie is not the voice of every parent, but I just again wonder what you
I
think. Like if
wish I could be the voice of every parent.
God, I just think, could you
Could you
imagine?
imagine
Like,
how great those kids would be?
oh, oh my God. Do you know what I think, Con? Sometimes I think if again, and this is a test to your abilities, both you and David's parent ability as parents, that it's worked for you
Mhm.
guys because of what you've done. But could you imagine if that was your child? I
Oh,
mean, I
no.
don't that's where I'm going with this now because
I think it would be nauseated.
I think you'd be
Um,
heartbroken because I
yeah,
know you. I
yeah,
without a doubt.
yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, all of our kids do stupid stuff
Yeah,
because they're kids and they have to they you have to do stupid stuff in order to learn how to live. It is our job as a parent to rein them in when they do stupid stuff, let them know they've done something dumb,
right.
and then help make sure that they learn from it.
Do you, this is okay. I want to get into this because this is when you're a parent, you obviously are watching your child and you get to know who they are like the back of your hand. You know, you get to see their personalities, you get to
Mhm,
understand the quirks and the happy stuff, but you also see other aspects of your child's personality. Am I wrong in this by
that you
asking
see,
this?
like, the not so great stuff?
Yes.
Yes, of course you do.
Okay. So I was reading about the two boys. Remember Columbine? Of course you remember
Mm,
Columbine.
mhm,
Everybody
mhm.
remembers Columbine.
It's the
And
start of everything.
right? I saw a documentary and I wish that they had delved a little bit more into what the parents were thinking and seeing. And I always ask myself this question. What did you see?
Mhm.
What did you notice? And how did you deal with these changes? Like kids, teenagers go through personality changes. We were teenagers. We know what it's like. Is that fair to ask? Or do some people put their blinders on? I don't know, Con. Like you know other parents. You know. What?
I think I think in certain situations, you have parents who are overworked,
Okay.
who are struggling with putting food on the table, who aren't there necessarily all the time, or when they are there, they are exhausted and they can't parent in the way that people would want to because, again, financially, they're they're strapped, so they're trying to make ends meet by working, 2 or 3 jobs, so they are checked out by the time that they do get home because their brain is so tired. I also think that there are some people who maybe had kids because that was the next step in life. You get
Yep.
married, you have kids, but I don't necessarily think they wanted to have kids or
Okay.
knew the lifelong responsibility of having children and the work that comes with it.
When it comes to
When it comes to shooting up schools, it's a whole
oh,
gun culture thing that they have in the US.
yes.
We've had our incidences here in BC. I don't know the
But
story around that one. I
in
don't know
okay.
anything about the
Okay.
BC case
I
enough.
thought that was it that's why they wanted to bring in ChatGPT into that case because of something that you I think that might have been, I'm
Oh,
not
I don't
quite
know.
sure,
It might have
but
been,
yeah,
but I don't want to say for sure because I don't
right.
know.
We don't know. Yeah.
Um But as a parent, there is so much now that is coming at you more so than ever before. Online porn, you have so many different things now that you're having to contend with as well. And now the manosphere and red pilling your kids. There's a lot that parents are doing for the first time. So it's not even like you can go to your parents because
Oh,
your parents didn't have any of this to deal with. Where new
well,
things come in and you have to deal with it while and learn how to deal with it while learning how to parent and all that stuff as well. So in no way am I
I don't
saying
know,
it's easy.
Connie. There has always been lost angry boys.
Oh, yes.
That's
Yeah.
been through the beginning of time. And make no mistake, these are lost angry boys who need something that they're not getting.
Yeah.
And the difference is then with the advent of social media, it's now become a situation where channeling of anger has turned into a place where people like these awful things that are profiting off of people's anger are turning it back on society in a way that this is where we are. And you're absolutely you brought up a really good point. This is an entirely new genre of
Mhm.
parenting.
Now you have the manosphere
And they're
validating
yeah,
there's the anger in these young boys.
these men may be awful, but they're very persuasive. And
Mhm.
they have honed that message to a point where it's
Absolutely. It's a business.
overruling. Oh, it's I don't even I think it's so past that now. Psychologically, they have managed to infect in a way that nothing in this world was planned for.
I don't know if these people who have these podcasts and courses they're selling, if we can make them liable for when something bad does happen and they do find out that their kid was sucked into this world of the manosphere. I don't know if that's possible, but that's where they're getting their ideas from. That's where they're finding out that this is okay to do these things, how to behave,
Yeah.
you know?
But then it goes back to regulation. And although they're starting in Europe to start regulating the
Yeah.
internet and usage for teenagers and in the younger generation, which is great,
Yeah.
North America just hasn't caught up to that. And I
No.
really wonder if it ever will,
I don't know if there is the will to.
because that gets in the way of profit.
Yeah.
Right? And we are dealing with a society that is built on profit. He did wrap it up in a good way. I will say that that
Mhm.
scene with his mom was brilliant. However, what scares me the most is that there is no redeeming message that says we can figure this out to stop this because they're still doing it
Oh, they're still
despite
doing it, they're still out there, they're still making their
this made them more famous.
possibly.
Like, yes, of course, right now they're being ridiculed by a great segment of social media. Fine.
Mhm.
But even with the ridicule, I notice because it's popping up now on my feed because we're talking about it as the
Of
phone
course.
listens to us,
Yeah.
for tiki-taki that even now, despite that, the um, the being made fun of, he's using that as part of his profile, so he can still make money.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, all of it is just to make money. And you know what else I found funny is that, TikTok, all of them are into bodybuilding and
yeah.
making their bodies masculine, muscular. They
I
don't realize
Oh, they
that it is
realize.
completely
Oh,
for the male gaze that
Connie,
they're
they
doing
know,
this.
and I'm
We
not gonna listen to
women
that bullshit for
dress
them.
Yes,
Yeah.
us women dress nicely and put on our makeup and do our hair for the
Yep.
female
That's
gaze
right.
because we want other women to go, "Oh my god, she has got it going."
Yep.
And men lift weights, get themselves nice and buff, get those abs. Not for women,
It's for the guys.
it's for the guys.
That's right, and they don't wanna admit that, but
Yep,
it's oh, it's so deeply
especially when they're homophobic ways.
so
Sorry,
deeply
guys.
embedded in their psyche. I know, right? Totally sorry. It's like, we know what you're doing.
Mhm,
So you can dress it up in any way, shape, or form. This is not for girls. This is for other guys to
yeah.
admire you. And that's what it comes down to.
Even the
Admiration.
having the girls in their videos
Oh,
is not to attract women,
no,
it's to attract men.
absolutely. And the way that they do it, it's like putting a potted plant in your house to make it look better. It doesn't do anything other than reinforce really tragic stereotypes. It's
Yeah,
again, it's one of those things where I don't think this type of behavior, I I I I don't know if this could be changed. It's been around forever, Connie. I don't
yeah.
know.
Oh, we
Oh,
grew up
yeah.
with some guys that were
Yep.
like this, that thought this way of women, that had 0 respect for women. Women were notches. What kind of body count can you have? Yet
Yeah.
didn't want their female partners to have the same kind of body count because that would be gross.
Oh my god. And the thing that would destroy them the most is that girls talk. And
Oh, yeah.
and, it's I don't think a lot of these some of these straight guys get it. I read, "Women fear being killed, and men fear being laughed at."
Mhm.
And I do believe that there is 100% that's true. We're in 2026, there was supposed to be hope for change.
It's because what more can
Cuddy's
we
face.
say about
I don't know.
these man babies?
I
That's
don't
what
know.
they are.
I don't
They
know,
think
except
that
to get
they're
professional
grown up.
help.
They think that they have the world figured out.
So then what would you suggest with for parents if they're watching these? Like, if they're seeing certain changes with their young sons, what advice would you give if you're thinking if something's happening? Do you have it?
My advice always is don't wait until
Uh,
there is an issue.
yeah,
Don't wait until you notice the change in your kid because at that point it's too late. Not that it's too late, because I don't wanna ever say that it's too late for any kid, and if it's at that point, then, therapy is the way you need to go. Family therapy and then individual therapy, that is easier said than done for a lot of people because therapy is not free.
it's not.
So you have, an added cost to that. But with anything that comes with parenting, I always think that it starts from day one. Having
Yeah,
conversations with your kids,
yeah,
talking to them about things that you might think are too old for you to talk to them about. It's not. You have to be on them from the beginning.
yeah.
There was a video that I was watching, and it's completely separate from this whole conversation, but it's video of this young girl. She was maybe 9. She had an iPad, and her iPad was sitting upside down on the counter, and she has 2 slices of bread on top of it, using it like a cutting board and making a peanut butter and jam sandwich, and her mom comes in, and she's like, "What the hell? What are you doing? Why are you making a your sandwich on top of the iPad?" And she slams her hand on the iPad and
Yeah.
the sandwich and says, "Because I wanted a certain one." Whatever kind of iPad. I didn't want this kind of iPad. Um,
Oh,
and it ended up being a video of a screaming match between her and her daughter. First off, you're videotaping this and putting this on the internet,
which I don't
which
understand.
well, in a way, I was like, this is a parenting lesson of what
Right.
not to do. Um,
Did they show the girl's face?
oh yeah.
Oh, that's great parenting. I don't know what to
Absolutely.
say about that.
That's
Anyway,
that's what I'm saying, like, it was
okay.
just like a what not to do type of thing. And secondly, this child's behavior was abhorrent. It was so bad, but so
Right.
was the parents. And then the dad is somewhere else in the house, and the mother's like, "Look, look, this is what this child is doing." And the husband's response is, "Well, she wanted the other one, not this one that you got her." And I'm like,
Oh God, we're in trouble.
at no point in time are you doing this child any kind of service. You're not teaching them anything but the lesson for that kind of malignant behavior was lost a long time ago. This is not where you start teaching your kid because this is obviously an error in parenting that happened
Early
a
on.
long time ago.
Yep.
A long time ago. The disrespect that was like back and forth between all three like the parents and the child was disturbing.
Well, way past that. And
Yeah.
even now, like you not only have humiliated your entire family forever,
Mhm.
because this stays on the internet. And now this
Oh,
girl will
absolutely.
forever see this. Job interviews, everything. Thank you, mom, for posting that. Like that's you're
Mhm.
not thinking. And this is where I do wonder, you know, where there's certain parts of parenting where you're like, okay, is this your buddy or
Yeah.
is it your child? And
Yeah.
you need to make that distinction. You can be friends with your child maybe later in life when they're
Yeah.
older and more on top of
Absolutely.
things
And
and are
if you've
aware.
done that parenting work
Yeah.
in the beginning.
But they're not your friends. They're
Mm,
your children, and you need to watch,
yeah,
and you need to monitor, and you need to be their parent, and that means uncomfortable truths in
yeah.
dealing with that.
And kids have lots of friends. They don't need another friend, but they only
Absolutely.
have 2 parents or
That's
1
right.
parent or whatever, right? So be the parent
And in
because that's way more special than being a friend.
And this documentary indicates more than ever the importance of making sure that you're watching what's going on with your kids because
Yeah,
it's growing. It's so important. I think with that, we can say this is what we think. It's a controversial topic. We are aware of that.
yeah,
Connie and I offer our opinions on what we believe,
you
but we're
think.
always, always interested to hear what you think.
Mhm.
And please, if you have an opportunity, especially parents, if you're listening to this, highly recommended that you watch the documentary. I know it's going to scare you, and it should, because it is a deeply disturbing documentary. And if that, I would even recommend watching Adolescence just for even
Oh,
more, especially if you're
it's
worried
such
about your
a
boys.
that movie was
Oh,
heartbreaking
good
because it
God.
shows the effects of
Everybody.
that that
It's
the actions on absolutely
everybody.
everyone, especially the parents
Oh my God.
and the whole family, and how it just tears them all apart in
That
a
was the
devastating
hardest.
way. Yeah,
The boy between the boy and the lawyer was one thing, but the parents and the sister, oh, anyways,
yeah,
uh, important and crucial watching, and we highly recommend it. But in the meantime, of course, as I was saying, we love to hear what you think and what you think about this episode and any other episodes. So have a listen to us on Connie.
Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon
Yeah.
Music, YouTube, or wherever it is that you get your podcasts from.
Yes, and please give us a like if you're really enjoying it, because all those
And
things matter to us, and follow too.
follow,
Absolutely.
follow, follow.
Yeah, yeah. We
We're
do.
begging you.
No, we're not.
I am.
Connie is well fine, but no, we do appreciate it. Any and all your listeners out there, thank you for sticking with us. And you, my friend, you have yourself a great day. Give your kids a hug,
I
and
will.
say hi to David. And love to you, my love. And I will talk
Thank
to you
you. Love
later.
you. Bye.
Bye.